Question 1.5. When a glass rod is rubbed with a silk cloth, charges appear on both. A similar phenomenon is observed with many other pairs of bodies. Explain how this observation is consistent with the law of conservation of energy. So, law of conservation of energy means that charges can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one body to another body. This law is called the law of conservation of charge. Now, when a glass rod, suppose this is a glass rod, is rubbed with a silk cloth, you have a silk cloth. When it is rubbed with a silk cloth, glass rod becomes positive and silk becomes negative. Now, how a body gets positive and negative charge is based on a property called electronegativity. Now, electronegativity means the affinity of a body to acquire electrons. So here in this example of glass and silk, silk is more electronegative. So silk will absorb or will attract the electrons from glass rod. And since glass rod is losing electrons, glass rod becomes positively charged. And since silk is acquiring electrons, it becomes negatively charged. Now we'll explain this phenomenon and check whether it is consistent with law of conservation of charge. So initially, the charge on both the bodies are 0. So I represent Qg as the charge in the glass rod. So that was 0 initially, and charge in the silk cloth is also 0. So the total charge is equal to the charge on the glass rod plus the charge on the silk cloth. So that is equal to 0. Now after rubbing the glass rod with silk, finally the glass rod becomes positively charged. So I keep the charge as plus Q, and the silk cloth becomes negative charge, that is minus Q. So again the total charge on both will be Q plus minus Q, which is again equal to 0. So since the initial charge on the body Q total is equal to 0 is equal to the final charge on the body, we say that this process is consistent with the law of conservation of charge.